season. All right, what's up, everybody? This is Oliver Bixby. This is the People Talk podcast for, this will be February 22nd, 2018. We're jumping ahead in time. I'm joined here by Rob Fogarty. What's going on, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just doing a podcast.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Thanks for being on.
Absolutely.
So let's jump right into some like really pressing topics. I know you're just watching the Olympics with like vigor, right?
Oh, yeah, that's what I love to do is watch the Olympics. No, I don't care at all about the Olympics.
Awesome.
And especially the Winter Olympics, I'd say.
Especially.
Yeah.
It's very cold, like not enough going on.
Right. And I mean, I guess like Summer Olympics, at least you can watch like gymnastics, I guess is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the Summer Olympics is like 3 months long and gymnastics is on for the entirety of it.
It does feel longer.
It's just a lot of gymnastics for it.
Is it longer?
I don't know. How long is the Winter Olympics?
I think this is only 2 weeks.
Okay.
I feel like.
So we're almost out of this then.
Yeah, this is almost done. But no shit. What was I gonna say? So I've asked this question to myself just because it's usually just me sitting here. So like, finally, real person here. Is there an event? Is there a chance at our age that if, like, say we dropped everything today and we're like, I'm gonna focus on this sport, could you be an Olympic medalist?
I'd have to imagine like curling is probably possible.
Yeah.
Probably not like as a sweeper, right? But like as
a Swiffer.
Was that what they're called?
I just like saying it because it looks like a Swiffer.
But like the guy that like throws them, I'm sure you could,
Yeah.
if you dived into it, you could, get that down.
Right. I mean, you could do that into your like 70s.
Right.
I'm guessing.
Right. But I just think, I don't know, like knowing my balance, there's no way that I'm gonna like run down the ice with a broom and be able to sweep this thing.
That's what I know is because I caught like a little bit of it and I was like, this lady from Norway looks like she's like mid 40s.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know. So there's the one event where they like cross country ski and then they shoot stuff.
Yeah.
Is there one where they just shoot stuff? Because
Where
like,
they just
you
shoot
could probably jump into that at this age.
Skeet shooting or something like that.
Right.
That feels like that would be like summer maybe.
Summer, if anything.
Yeah.
Maybe nothing at all.
But then you could have one for each one. You could be like, yeah, I'm a winter and summer
Right.
Olympics athlete.
Just strap the skis on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're really bad at the skiing part, but you're like the best shot in the world. So
Right.
you just make up all the points you lost for the other half.
And it's so weird, like you always just think of like if someone has an Olympic medal, that's like such a coveted thing or whatever. But then like there's someone out there who's just got an Olympic medal for curling.
Right.
Which doesn't seem, I mean, yeah, there's definitely skill involved, but like that's not like pushing the boundaries of like human strength.
Right. Like
type
they're probably
things.
getting invited to all the same parties as like Michael Phelps, who has,
Yeah.
he's broken every record there is, and he's just this
Yeah.
freak of a human being. But
And you're like, we are on the same level. We we have the same token.
yeah, like they probably go to the same parties, but they probably don't hang out in the same sections of the party, right? Like,
No, Michael Phelps has like, just naturally like more security or something.
right.
I don't know. I'm just assuming he's like super rich or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Curling is just kind of like
Mr. Curling.
people forget who he is as soon as like he walks off the podium.
H.P. Curlingson.
No one remembers. No one remembers. Like there's got to be like hundreds of people out there who are Olympic medalists.
Yeah, gold medalists.
Gold
there's
medalists.
So many forgotten Olympic gold medalists.
That are just shit Joe the Ragman at the office. Like, just working in insurance right now.
Yeah. It does not pay the bills forever, right? Like, especially if you're unattractive, that you're not getting too much mileage out of an Olympic gold medal, I wouldn't think. Not one, anyway.
But if you are attractive and you get like one silver medal, you can milk that.
Yeah, man. You can get a Subway deal for life.
Is that free sandwiches?
Probably. I mean, like Apollo Ono has been in Subway commercials as long as I can remember now.
Oh no, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
Case in point.
I still see him in Subway commercials.
That's true. I feel like Subway's been like very subtly raising their prices.
Yeah.
Because that was really hard because $5 footlong was like that's like burned into everyone's brains.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you saw the $6.
Yeah, and now it's like they don't have a single $5 footlong in the shop.
What is happening? I don't know. Jimmy John's got to be taking some of their shit or something.
Yeah, I would think so.
So what is a good like nightly routine for you? Because like for me, I come home from work, I do this stuff, I watch Seinfeld. Am I way off, or is this like pretty similar?
No, it's like frightening how little I actually do once I come home from work. I
feel the
usually
same
watch
way.
Jeopardy. I always got to watch my Jeopardy every day.
How is Trebek doing?
Well, he just had that.
He had like a surgery or something,
Yeah,
right?
he had like was it brain surgery or throat surgery? I can't remember. But he had like cancer.
Really?
I don't. I'm getting all of these like celebrity, like John McCain and freaking Alex Trebek. I don't know.
All these old guys.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but he had something. I feel like
Trebek had like a stroke or
throat
something like
surgery.
back like not too long ago too.
That was Tracy Morgan. That's who you're thinking.
I do get them confused sometimes.
But no, he's they're still showing like back episodes because they're like
Oh, really?
30 days behind, or 90 days behind, or something like that.
Repeats.
Yeah, well, not repeats, just new. They just have a
I see what
buffer
you're saying.
of how many they show.
They shoot like that far in advance?
Yeah,
Trivia is no joke.
Like when like Ken Jennings went on his crazy tear.
Yeah.
Like nobody knew, like they had to keep it secret that this guy was like just
because it was done at some point, but you didn't know for
right. And nobody knew that there was going to be this crazy long run either. Like if they're 30 days backed up and he's 30 days in.
Yeah.
They know it's going to be super long, and like on episode 1 of Ken Jennings, like they're not going to be like, hey, watch the new Jeopardy phenom go crazy for months.
I see what you're saying. Like how do you subtly build the suspense without letting it slip, like how long dude's gonna be on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's what I do when I get home. Wait for the lady to get home from work, which will happen anywhere from 6 p.m. to 8:30 or 9. She just, I don't know. She stays.
Do you
she
have dinner
stays at
on the
work.
table at least?
Occasionally.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and then we both veg out and watch more TV.
I mean, what more is there?
Right. Hey, this is America after all. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. At least, like from what I can gather from like social situations, I think we're both kind of like the peanut gallery variety of sit and wait for some low hanging fruit and then pounce. Like I can make fun of that.
When is there a break in the conversation so I can use this line? I have this line.
Right. Oh man,
Damn
it's
it.
been 4 minutes. I can't use that line now.
Yeah, exactly. The timer's just ticking in your mind, and you're just like, this guy. If he doesn't shut up in 15 seconds, I can't use this anymore.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden someone's like, oh yeah, that's funny. And then you're just like, fuck.
Yep.
Got to think of a new thing.
Yeah, I think too deeply, not quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I've realized that like all too much lately, especially at work. Like you have to think as little as possible. That's what they want. You need to just think as little as possible and just action, just constant motion and action.
Well, my job's a little bit different. Mine requires just burning yourself out mentally every day more than action, I'd say.
So are you more like IT where it's like fixing like actual like programs? See,
Sort of. So it's not.
are you doing coding? Is basically
Yes.
what I'm getting at is
Yes.
like, are you in like lines of code?
Yeah, it's
Where
a
you're
lot of coding
Okay.
and a lot of like design.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of, I don't know. I push data around,
Yeah.
right? So it's not just like procedural programs that just do a thing. It's like finding the best way to take a bunch of data from multiple places and put it in one place, so that we can retrieve it easily and not take up too much space while doing so.
That sounds fancy.
I
It
guess
sounds sexy.
It's a little fancy. I wouldn't call it sexy, but
I'm a data manipulator.
yeah, I've described it as Rube Goldberg machine maintainer before.
That's, I was a fan of that. Rube Goldberg's back in the day.
Oh yeah.
That I feel like that was like 4th or 5th grade, like that came out of nowhere.
I'm sure that's not the case, like globally, It probably just came out of nowhere, like to you, like 4th or 5th grade.
No, yeah, to me that's what I meant. I know it's like dude was like 100 years ago or some shit, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But like they showed it to us in class or something, like one of the pictures, and I was just like those did like trip me out.
Right.
And like made me stop for a while, and I was like, why is no one else like
Right.
interested in this?
Let's not just blow right by this, guys. We gotta really.
Yeah, I
take
really
this
wanted
shit
to
in.
stop. Wait, the boot kicks a ball, and then the ball hits the thing.
Yeah, burns the candle burns the rope, and it spooks the mouse, and he eats the cheese. That glove pokes a balloon or something.
Was that whole thing like a philosophical thing that like I was just too young to not get, or am I reading into it already too
Not
much?
that I know of,
Okay.
but
Something
maybe
about
there's some
like
kind of
fate and like butterfly
Goldbergian
effect.
philosophy.
I'm sure dude had some thoughts on the, like why did he make those things? Was that his art?
Maybe. I mean, maybe he wanted it to be his art, and then he found that, like, newspapers would pay him a nickel for every drawing he made, and so he started shitting them out. Like,
That was his game. It
maybe
was
the
just
early ones were like super deep and contemplative.
Yeah.
he just started chasing that paper and like did like 20 a day.
Yeah. By the end, it's just really lame. Just books on books, just dominoing.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, this circle hits this other circle, and another circle comes in.
And according to Newton, it's just got to keep transferring motion.
Right. Or you could lose some heat energy.
I want some updated Rube Goldbergs that are super accurate.
Like the teen looks at the iPhone and
While crap's going on over here,
right.
they're looking at the iPhone, which is like beaming down from a satellite. That's also beaming down to television that someone is watching and making them, influencing them in their mind to go out and do something that's happening like right over that person's shoulder.
Right, but all they can do is stare at their phone because we're in such a sad state of affairs right now.
But what they're staring at on their phone is a news clip of that person who went and did something, and it's like this circular thing
Yeah.
that we can't stop until we just put down our phones, which will never happen.
That's not going to happen. No.
That's what kills me, like watching a lot of Seinfeld and stuff, is like how many of those storylines are just broken by cell phones.
Yeah.
Couldn't even be a show anymore
Right.
like today.
Yeah, that's every episode there's something
I just
like
call them
that.
cell phones too, which it dates me, I feel like. Smartphones.
I think it's still like
Are they still
accepted
technically cell
nomenclature.
phones?
Yeah. Mobile devices, I don't know. Yeah, but it's like literally every episode there's like somebody checking their messages or, doing a pop in. Like,
Yeah.
and I always thought about like It's crazy. People just show up at Jerry's apartment. They live in frickin' New York. So, I mean, it probably takes them an hour and a half to get there. And they're just taking the chance that he's going to be home.
There.
Right. Jerry's he's a stand-up comedian. He's always home. He'll be home. It's 3 p.m. Of course he's home.
And sometimes they just pop in and they're just like, hey. And then they just go in the fridge,
Right.
take a beverage, take 2 sips, and then they're just like, all right, I got to go.
Right.
Okay. You drove an hour to spend 30 seconds, and then you're going to drive an hour back to work or whatever.
Just came over for a few sips of Diet Right, you know?
Yeah. I just really enjoy this apartment.
Yeah, that's one of me and my wife's like favorite things to quote when Elaine goes to the bizarro Jerry's apartment. And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Eating olives."
You ever think of asking? I feel like I watched that one and I'm like, I know they just filmed his apartment and then they just flipped it on the camera.
Right.
That's what they did, right?
I would think.
It would be stupid not to just do that.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it had different like decor and stuff, right? Maybe it would take longer to do that. I don't. I'm not in set design, you know.
Parks and Rec. You watch Parks and Rec, don't you?
Oh yeah.
I didn't discover Parks and Rec until like 4 months ago.
Oh,
which is dumb.
I'm so jealous of you though.
Yeah, to like go through it all for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it many times now.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
And I was just like, why didn't I watch this? Because when I would see like little clips, I'm like, this looks kind of garbage.
But I mean, like technically, it probably is kind of garbage, right? But it's very like all the characters are, you know, just like super endearing and like there's not a character on the show you don't love.
Yeah. And then, like it took like the first 2 seasons to really get into it, and then it just kind of like exploded.
Yeah. Once what's his face, Adam Scott joins, it really just kind of takes off. And once whatever that guy, Mark Brandanowitz, once he leaves.
Yeah.
Like he's probably the only Parks and Rec character I just don't really like.
Right.
He's got those like soulless eyes.
Yeah,
It's
and
like shark eyes, you know.
And you have no idea of like his intentions.
Right.
Like like, wait, is he like a nice guy that's just getting like fucked over all the time? Or is he like trying to fuck over like people?
Yeah.
It's very unclear.
Yeah, right. And he's like he tries to pull like the like awkwardly romantic card, but he's not doing so in a way that you want to watch it happen. You know, it's just just like actually awkward instead of like cute awkward.
Yeah. No, as soon as they start doing the entertainment 720 stuff, it just becomes super entertaining.
Jean-Ralphio is just an amazing addition to the show. I'm gonna say. That guy, anytime he's in anything, it's a pretty good time.
Is he in some? Because I feel like I'm waiting for him to pop in randomly to other shows. Because he feels like some dude who would like get onto a new show or something.
Yeah, I mean, well, I know he gets a lot of like voice work, right? So he's Huey, Dewey, or Louie on the new DuckTales. Oh, I know that. What other voice stuff?
Are they older in the new DuckTales, or does he have like a weird voice?
No, he just talks higher. You know? I mean, a little bit higher, you know. And because it's like him and Bobby Moynihan and someone else. Sorry, whoever else you are, because you are a name of note.
The other guy.
The other guy. But I hear him on podcasts a lot. He's on Comedy Bang Bang a lot.
Oh, yeah?
And anytime he's on Comedy Bang Bang, it's just absolutely hilarious. And he was on a show. He's on House of Lies on Showtime, which I've never seen, but I hear it's good.
I saw Aubrey Plaza was on an episode of Getting Dug with High.
Oh yeah,
and like I've seen maybe like 5 or 6 of those episodes. Just I'll only watch it if it's like the guest is like someone I would want to see or whatever.
Right. And
she seemed like the one person where like she went on that show and she like seemed like she was regretting being on the show like halfway through. She's like, what is this?
Yeah, she's in She's in that Legion show too. Have you watched that at all?
What is
That's
that?
a really good show. So that's, I think they've only done one season so far. It's on FX, and it's Legion, right? It's based on this character from Marvel Comics, who is like Charles Xavier's son. Spoiler alert! I don't know if that's what they're gonna do with him in the TV show or not. They haven't covered that. But he's like this like ultra powerful mutant who has like 700 different personalities in his head, but each one of them has their own like distinct powers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it seems pretty cool so far, and she's in that.
That's like a Marvel thing? Like a TV show, though?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Like how much of, like, Marvel is everywhere. Like, Marvel is like Coca-Cola now.
Right. Well, it's
crazy.
you know, Disney bought them 4
Yeah.
or 5 years ago or whatever. And since then, it's just like taken over the world.
That's insane. Like I'm really excited to watch Black Panther. And, like, some of these movies, like some of the Marvel movies, though, it seems like they just release a trailer and then it's just like, this is going to be the next, like, biggest movie of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like, at some point that can't hold.
Right. Well, I think it was like probably 2 years ago now. I heard Ron Howard on NPR talking about how there is like a movie bubble. Right. Because every movie costs so much to make.
And it just keeps growing.
Right. And it's like if one of these movies tanks, that's it. Because they're going to, like, you know, they put like almost $1 billion into a movie.
Yeah.
And then if they only make, you know, $200 million, they just lost $800 million on that movie.
Yeah.
So
someone's going to
they
bet
can't
too
do
big
anything
on one of
after
these.
that, right?
Yeah.
And Hollywood's just going to collapse.
Oh my God.
And I swear to God, it's probably going to be Disney that does it.
Yeah.
With their freaking overuse of these Marvel movies.
Well, yeah, it would have to be something in like the Marvel thing.
Maybe it'll be DC though. Yeah, Disney's probably too smart. They'll set it up.
DC,
so that
no one likes DC.
They'll set it up so that the bubble will finally burst on like one of these big budget DC movies.
They'll set them
no
up.
one's gonna give a shit about it. And Disney's just gonna cash out and walk away.
I feel like Justice League stuff already like comes in kind of short though.
Yeah, I haven't seen one of those I like yet.
Yeah, I liked Wonder Woman.
Okay, so let me correct myself. I did like Wonder Woman, but Suicide Squad sucked.
See, I mean, they hit me with the soundtrack, so I mean, I'm kind of biased, but yeah, that was kind of different.
I mean, I couldn't even stay awake through that movie.
No?
No, and like, you know, I care about it for canonical purposes. Like, I need to know what's happening in the DCU.
Need the info.
You know?
No, yeah, and it's probably going to be like some big, like, one of these group movies where like all 10 of the big guys are in it.
Right, because they have to pay so much in just actor salaries alone.
Yeah, Civil War Part 7 or whatever
Right.
is just going to tank.
Yeah.
They all think they're like the Fast and the Furious, like how those movies just keep getting like, oh, this one's even bigger worldwide. This one's even bigger.
Still fast, still furious.
Yeah, like at some point, like, are we all just going to be forced to like watch this movie?
Right.
Like,
Watch the movie or the economy will crumble.
like at some point, something bad's going to happen if we don't watch the next SpiderMan movie.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even
To
see
save
the last
country,
SpiderMan
watch
movie.
SpiderMan.
So like so they make like a Spider-Man movie every 2 years now, you know. I didn't even see the last one, which is, it looks like the first legitimately good Spider-Man movie they've made.
Yeah.
Like, I watched all the Sam Raimi ones, which, you know,
Yeah.
I guess they had their moments. There were some fun parts, and I love Sam Raimi, but they were fucking garbage.
It was kind of like preschool for the whole Marvel thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then they had two of like the second guy.
Yeah.
From Social Network or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I watched, you know, the first one of those. Or I may have watched both of those, but I think they felt like the exact same movie, and I didn't give a shit about either one of them.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even see the last one, and it looks so good.
I didn't see it either. No. What about this animated one or whatever that's going to be coming out?
That looks pretty good too.
Yeah.
I like that they're going to go into like all of the web or whatever, all the different Spider-Men that exist, across time and dimensions and stuff.
Mm-hmm. What about this Venom? This Venom thing.
I mean, Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
That's probably all you got to say, but they could still fuck it up.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Yeah, something's going to happen. And it just feels like there's going to be a moment where, like, at the movie theater, your only options are going to be one of, like, 8 different Marvel movies.
Right. You want to watch one of these Marvel movies or the one romantic comedy we have today.
Yeah. With, like, maybe one animated movie and then, like, maybe a Star Wars spin-off coming up next month.
Right. Just all the different things that Disney has their hands in.
Yeah. It's like if you watch like any movies that get awards, like how do you fucking watch those? Where do you go to see those movies that actually win awards?
Yeah, you can only go to like the Oriental.
Yeah.
Or just some any theater that only has 2 screens in it.
You have to drive like out of state right. to watch any like critically acclaimed movie.
It's only legal to show them on water, so you have to go to like a riverboat movie theater.
Projected on glass on the side of a building somewhere. I don't know. I'm still sticking with my original plan to make it big is to save up $20,000 and make like some low budget horror movie and like just have it blow up. Like that's the way like you start out, right?
Yeah, well that's
you just make some like
didn't like fucking Steven Soderbergh just filmed a movie on an iPhone?
Did he?
Yeah.
That gives me hope.
And yeah, right. And it's just like a psychological, like what it's like something about a chick who has a stalker, but nobody believes her or something like that. So this stalker just kind of has free will to keep stalking.
So you're just watching him like film her or something?
I don't really know the ins and outs of it, but the whole thing was filmed on an iPhone. From what
See, I'm already interested. Yeah. Like cool concept.
I think it was Steven Soderbergh. Might have been someone else.
That would be my thing. Like if you get to the level of like some like super well-known dude, I would just make like the most low-budget trashy thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just phone it in. You're gonna get paid either way.
Yeah, everyone's gonna watch it. There was like some movie Martin Scorsese made like 5 years ago. It was like some animated robot movie.
That sounds good.
Does it though?
Yeah.
See,
those are like 3 things that I'm all about, man. Scorsese, animated robots. Come on.
But see, that's what it was in my mind. I was like, this is not his kind of movie.
That's true.
Because it has nothing to do with the mafia or anything.
What? Are you sure? It's not like a robot mafia?
It was like a kid's movie animated about some robot. And I was just like, he's just doing this because like somehow someone told him like, if you direct this movie, it'll make X amount of dollars. And he was just like, whatever.
Right.
So I think it's even like, quote, directed by him. He was probably just like, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Right. Put my name on it.
They just showed him, look, the formula that we have to determine exactly how much a movie will make says this will make money if you do it.
Like, I feel like he had just a drop in the bucket to do with that movie, whatever it was.
It was just all production assistants.
Yeah.
Mr. Scorsese, how about we do this? Yeah. Go for it.
And it was animated.
Right.
So, I mean, he's not bending over like a drawing table. Like, here's the new epic from Martin Scorsese. He was just like, oh, yeah, that looks good. No, throw that on there.
Right.
Over some dudes toiling away on computers.
Nah, give that character like a mole on his cheekbone, like Robert De Niro has.
By 3. I want it by 3. Directed by Martin Scorsese. Jesus. So what have you been listening to musically?
I wish I had an answer for you, but the same stuff that I've been listening to for the last 10 to 15 years, I guess.
No, what's a typical playlist?
Well, usually I just, so at one point I had like all the music on my phone or my Google Play account or whatever, and I just listened to it alphabetically. Like every time I was in my car, I just play the next set of songs alphabetically, and then hit thumbs up on the ones that I like. So now I just hit random on my thumbs up playlist.
Ooh.
There's not enough songs on there though, so it's getting a little stale.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'll be so we'll hear like I don't know, Lauryn Hill, Talib Kweli, Rick James, Earth, Wind and Fire, James Brown.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
But do you have like a good appetite for like trying like new, just random, like I've never heard of this, but I'll try it? Because I really don't.
I want to.
I have to at least
It's
like
the
be like,
thing.
oh, this guy used to work with this person that I really like, so I'm willing to give that a shot.
Like that will definitely make me more apt to try something. I'm just so bad at actually seeking stuff out.
Yeah.
Like it's just so much work. I don't know. And then like you can't decide if you like somebody based on one song, so you have to listen to a bunch of their stuff. And so much of everybody's stuff is just filler, and it's not worth listening to. It's just such a pain in the. Maybe I'm just getting old.
Yeah.
This is just what happens to everybody when they get old, and that's why they listen to the same stuff for 50 years.
You don't feel like doing the digging.
Right.
No, that reminded me though, like how we and I talked about this. So possible Black Star album.
Yeah.
I got super excited, and then I feel like I keep seeing articles every day for the past 4 or 5 days that keeps kind of walking it back. I'm getting a little worried because at first it was like Sunday or something, and my girlfriend showed me it was like article Yassine Bey confirms new Black Star album produced by Madlib, and I fanboyed like I don't fanboy like over anything, but I fanboyed.
Right.
I was like, oh!
But they're walking
for like
it back
a minute
They're
straight.
saying it might not happen, or what?
Well, the articles will be like, Black Star working with, where it's like it sounded at first like there was an album ready, like it was going to drop next week or something.
Sure.
And now it's just like, oh, they're working on something.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Hopefully it comes out.
If I was Black Star, I'd announce it years ahead of time too. 'Cause
Gonna have to build up a fan base again.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it'll be interesting though. They're both just such different people than they were, when
For
they made
sure.
the first album.
Yeah.
Not that they haven't been consistently collaborating since then, but
Right. And then did you see that one picture of like, because they were hyping up, it was like Kanye West with Mos Def, and
No.
it looked like they were like writing lyrics, and that was like not even 2 weeks ago. That was like like on
Okay.
Twitter. It was like, okay, now is that what Kanye West is up to? Like working on a new Black Star album?
that sounds good. My favorite work of Kanye West has always been when he's just doing a verse on someone else's song. Like that's when he shines the most, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go see Talib Kweli next weekend.
Really?
He's going to be in Madison.
Really?
Yeah, and Nico IS, or Nico Is. I still have no idea what that guy's name is, if it's IS or Is, but he's opening for him.
Yeah.
And I'm more excited to see him than Talib Kweli, actually.
Oh, really?
Does
he have good stuff?
Pretty into him for a year or so.
I've never actually listened to him.
Oh, you should check him out, man. He's good.
All right. That's my first like good recommendation in a long time. I spend like way too much time on Twitter, so Talib Kweli just like he trashes like people all day on Twitter.
Yeah, that's like his thing, right?
Yeah. That's like his day job.
Right.
He's literally on there like
Musician by night.
he's on there like 10 hours a day just like taking people who should not be on Twitter down.
Yeah, it's mostly just like alt-right shitbags, right? Like,
Right, yeah, for sure.
guys that are just like into like eugenics and shit.
Yeah, just like the craziest stuff that, like, I swear to God, like half of them just say just to fire him up, and then, you know.
Like they know, like, oh, Talib Kweli is gonna see this. I better.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's like what half of it is. But it's weird too, because then like, obviously like Mos Def is like, he just has like my heart. Like he's always been my favorite of the two. But he's like been so silent and just like so like abstract and like so just like gone from everything for so long.
Yeah, like what's gonna come back?
Right. Like I'm kind of worried about that. But then it was like 6 months ago or something, like he was like randomly on, I don't know what radio show, but there's some YouTube clip where like all of a sudden he was just like on some radio show and he was like back to basics, like
Straight out of Brooklyn.
Like it was like he had never left, and he wasn't like like esoteric about anything. He was just like very just like like, oh, I was in Europe for a while, and like they all think we're just crazy. Like, what are you guys doing with like the president and stuff? And I was just like, he was just like back, and he had the look back and everything. And it was just it felt like it was like 2002 or something.
Right. Like you could tell just from the audio that he was wearing like a straw fedora and a short sleeve button down.
They have video of it. He was wearing like he just had like a cool like baseball hat on, and I was just like, this is the old Mos. Like, can you just go in the studio now? Like,
right, like right now before you lose this vibe.
Right. I don't know what it is, like why he. I mean, I can't begrudge like a guy for like doing like following whatever path he needs to follow, but like,
yeah, man. I mean, people are people, right? As the Greek diner owner in Muppets Take Manhattan famously said, "People's is people's."
Is that right? Like, I'm gonna have to watch that again. Muppets Take Manhattan.
Yeah, that was his big like eye-opening speech to Piggy. Was it her or Kermit? I don't know, somebody. It was like, or no, I think it was to Kermit's girlfriend when she was getting all pissed that he was like, I don't know, finding his own path, and he just said some weird like broken English. People's is people's. Sometimes frogs is people's. You know, something like that. It was very weird and hard to follow, but it got through to the girl he was talking to. That lifted her spirits.
That's definitely like one of the like lesser known. That's one of the like that's a deep cut like Muppet movie.
Yeah. Is it though?
I feel like it is, isn't it?
So I think it kind of has to do with like what your own personal Muppet experience is.
Basically how old you are.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Well, that's probably part of it. But like for me, like the Great Muppet Caper, like I know it's a good movie. I think I may have seen it for the first time recently. Yeah, so that probably is the one you're thinking of. I don't know, because I feel like because Muppets Take Manhattan is like, I mean, it just, to me it feels like the Muppet movie that everybody knows.
Oh,
I mean, not to be confused with the Muppet movie, but
no, I think I am mixing the two, because I was about to say, like, isn't that the one where like there's like a jewel heist and it's Charles Grodin is like a bad guy? But that must be the Caper, right?
I think that's the Caper. And then
I did get confused.
Yes, and the Muppet movie is when...
That's like when they're trying to go to Hollywood.
No, that's Muppets Take Manhattan. They're trying to go to Broadway and get their show on Broadway. The Muppet movie...
The Muppet movie, they're trying to go to Hollywood. Like Kermit is trying to go to Hollywood.
And there's like people trying to kill Kermit.
Yeah.
There's like assassins after him.
People are always trying to kill Kermit, aren't they?
Right. And then Piggy flips out, and
there's always a subplot of
karate.
Like, dun, dun, dun.
Right. Well, even in that like most recent one, there was like the evil like oil magnates or whatever trying to shut down the historic Muppet theater.
Muppets are always just underdogs, no matter what.
Right.
They're never gonna lose.
Which you'd think would shift them out of their underdog status, but I guess it hasn't.
Permanent underdogs. They're like the only thing that I can think of that can come back after a 10-year hiatus and just be like
Right.
right back where they were.
Yeah, man. I fucking had Muppet music in my wedding.
You did?
Yeah.
Which ones?
We had it's from Muppets Take Manhattan. It's from the end. They had Somebody's Getting Married. My niece and her like high school choir friends all sang it.
I didn't notice that.
Yep.
That
Snuck one by you.
yeah, you guys had a very detailed.
Yeah, very detailed wedding that we planned in like 4 months for no reason. We could have taken our time with it, but we decided not to.
I mean, in the end, like why would you go to like such lengths
Right.
to try to like immaculately like plan out a day that's not going to go, that's
Right.
guaranteed not to go the way
I
that
could
you
take
think
a
it's
year
going
to plan it out, right?
Yeah.
But then you're just stressed about stuff for a year instead of 4 months.
Yeah. just make this like, it would be a really cool day if these like 5 things happened. Everything else is like, all right, you figure it out.
Right.
I don't know. But Muppets, greatest Muppet movie, Muppet Christmas Carol.
That I did not expect you to say.
Are you gonna deny me on the Muppet Christmas Carol?
Let me think about. So I haven't seen that one in a while. What do we got? We got. I feel like.
And don't forget the one where they like try to figure out where Gonzo's from. What was that one called? It was like some weird like late '90s one.
Was it the main plot of one of the movies?
It was like Muppets to Mars. Was that it?
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
Yeah.
Because it's
like the origin.
Because it was the late '90s, and I was like, nah, better than Muppets, you know. But
it was weird. It was like a Gonzo origin story.
yeah, Muppets in Space or Muppets from Space.
Muppets from Space. Yeah.
Yeah,
That one was weird. But that has like a really good soundtrack. It's like 70s. It's 70s funk and soul kind of music.
Yeah, like all the Muppet movies then probably.
Oh, are they all?
I mean, they got a little funky. Well, I guess if you count like. Well, soundtrack or
Christmas
score?
Carol.
Soundtrack or score? Because
The soundtrack, yeah.
Okay, because I mean, like the music in the background, like all the what's his name, Dr. Teeth.
Oh yeah, the band.
Yeah, I should know this.
The Electric Mayhem.
Yeah, the Electric Mayhem. All their songs are pretty funky usually.
Yeah.
And then like all like the music they have in the background is usually pretty funky. But then the actual Muppet songs are just
Yeah.
they want to hit that like nice
show
big
tunes.
cross section that everybody loves.
Yeah. Like a love song in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Maybe some banjo, a little Rainbow Connection action.
Yeah. I don't know where the Muppets go from here, though. I really don't.
Right. Hey, they've done it all, right?
But they'll, like, 5 years from now, they'll just be like, out of nowhere, we're back.
Right.
With, like, whoever the hot celebrity of the day is.
Jason Segel's just like, oh, I needed more money.
Yeah, it's gonna be some like just all time thing. Well, that's the way like I'm starting to feel about TV shows now, because like you're seeing all these TV shows that like come back.
Yeah, Will and Grace just came back.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I actually saw a preview the other day. So apparently there's a Paramount TV network, like Paramount from movie fame, you know.
Yeah.
And apparently I get this channel, and I was watching it the other day, and they had a trailer for they're going to make a TV show out of Heathers, the movie from the 80s.
Really?
Yeah. You look at me kind of blankly. Do you not know that movie?
I've heard of it.
I've gotten mixed reactions in the last week or so when I've been telling people that.
I never saw it. I've heard of it.
So it's like Christian Slater, Winona Ryder, Brenda from 90210.
Okay.
That's the original Heathers. And
are they going to be in it, or it's going to be like some like reboot?
So. No, it looks very like MTV Teen Wolf, you know. But yeah, I thought that was pretty odd.
For sure. So, but like my thing is now like a TV show, instead of like when we were kids, a TV show would be like 5 years if it's lucky, 10 years if it's like deemed like a classic show.
Yeah.
But now like a TV show is like forever if it wants to be, as long as they're successful.
Right.
Because like you can do a run of like 3-4 seasons and then just be like, all right, we're done. And then like 5 years later, oh, we're going to do like one more
Right.
season. We're going to bring it back.
Right. Yeah. You can go the community route and, put 2 seasons on freaking Yahoo.
Yeah.
The failed Yahoo streaming service.
Yeah. Or like how, wasn't Family Guy kind of like that? They kept getting like canceled and then like coming back, coming back.
They left a couple of times.
So like if a show wants to, like they could make Will and Grace like season 43 with them being like old people.
Right.
If they want to.
So what's interesting about Will and Grace, so I've never watched it at all, and I'm not watching the new stuff or anything. Nothing against Will and Grace. It's I just whatever. My wife watches it though, and apparently the new stuff is like not canonical with the old stuff.
Oh,
it's because they ended the old stuff. They did all these things like everybody had their story wrapped up in some way or another.
Yeah,
and then apparently the first episode of the new season or new series rather, and even on our DVR, like it says season 1 episode whatever.
Oh.
So the first episode started with them like talking about like, oh, could you imagine if I did this and this with my life? And then I was like, oh my god,
so
that
they
would be
tore
so
apart
crazy.
that ending or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
They like I don't know if it's a retcon or just like this is just completely like extra canonical. But
yeah.
It's I thought that was pretty interesting that they decided to go that route. So maybe this one will be like like the new Adventures of Will and Grace, and it'll be like 6 seasons that are just completely different than the other stuff.
No, that is dope though, because you could do anything you want as long as there's an audience. Yeah, you could just tear it apart and just be like, because a lot of TV shows back in the like 70s and 80s would do that shit. Like just to be like kind of weird, like. What was that one old dude's name? Bob Newhart?
Yeah.
Wasn't the last episode like, oh, that whole entire series was a dream?
Yeah. Right.
Like, way to just say fuck you to your audience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so funny. I mean, that's, they still do weird crap like that. Like Roseanne. Like, you ever see?
They're bringing that show back too.
Yeah, they're bringing that back too. But did you see how Roseanne ended?
Didn't John Goodman die or something? She's like,
I think so.
Coming back from the funeral, like, or something like that.
So it gets confusing because I think like the whole like last season was just crazy shit, but like the last episode, I want to say like revealed that like that the entire show was like a book that Roseanne had written, but Roseanne was this other Roseanne who had won the lottery or some shit like that. And she's like, yeah, and actually Becky married David and Darlene married Mark, but I switched it because I wanted it to be that way. And it's like, she just blew like everything that happened in the series out of the water. and in Roseanne, the show, as we watched it, I think Dan survived. But then, like, in her, like, closing remarks of writing the book, she's like, he actually died from that heart attack. And it's like, what the fuck is even happening? So, like...
That's what I probably saw.
Yeah, I don't even know, like, what the actual plot line to Roseanne is. And I've seen that. In the last 5 years sometime, I've seen the last episode of Roseanne, and I'm still confused.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, ultimately, you just have to go with, like, okay, they did, like, 8 seasons or something with, like... this cast of people. That's what people are going to remember. People aren't going to remember that 5-minute thing that you said at the end of the last episode. Where that
exactly.
None of that really happened. They're going to want people don't pay that much attention, so they're going to want like what they saw.
Right.
For
that's
for
the
how long.
sitcom gold. Everything goes back to how it was at the beginning of the episode.
For sure.
That and the rule of threes.
What is that?
The rule of threes?
Just like comedy, like everything happens 3 times.
Yeah,
kind of
like
thing?
when like. Let's see. So, oh man, I couldn't get over here in time. I had to go to the store and I had to go let my dog out, and I had to go fight a homeless man. You know, like the third thing is always like the joke.
Oh.
You know, like but you have to list things in threes and then end with that joke.
That's like a secret comedy thing.
I don't think it's secret. Like if you watch 30 Rock, they like overtly reference the rule of threes many times throughout the series.
I have not gone through that series.
Oh, you gotta watch 30 Rock, man.
I gotta watch 30 Rock.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend it.
Okay.
And then you'll see what I'm talking about.
No, yeah. Three is the magic number. For sure.
As De La Soul would have it.
Exactly. What else are they bringing back? They've brought the X-Files back multiple times.
Yeah.
Which, like, I can't even bring myself to watch it.
That's something I've never really been. Yeah, I've never gotten into it. Like I feel like I'm supposed to be into the X-Files.
Yeah. It was like the first 3 seasons of like the OG stuff was like super good, but then it just becomes this wild goose chase that's like super predictable. So my girlfriend's never seen an episode of anything. So like we were bored after the Super Bowl, so we watched the first episode of the like new stuff.
Okay.
Just because I was like, all right, it's time for me to like see what this new stuff's about. And like just the one episode, 1 hour, and then it just like left on like a like kind of a cliffhanger. Like, is it a government conspiracy or are there really aliens? And like she turned to me and she's like, are we gonna watch the next episode? I need to know if it's like a government conspiracy or is there like really aliens?
I'm sure they'll reveal it next episode.
and I was like, no, that's literally how 9 seasons of that show went, and they never explained it.
Right.
So I've got bad news for you. They're not gonna like reveal anything. So I was like, do I really need to keep up with this? Like,
yeah.
Like I'm not gonna
Just
be Charlie
keep
Brown.
torturing
Like
yourself.
I'm not gonna
Right.
like let Lucy like entice me to kick the
In
football
my
again.
30s now, I can stop following whether or not the X-Files is going to reveal anything.
Right. Well, that cigarette smoking dude is back, and they've literally killed him at least 3 times in the original series. So I've just got this feeling that like this is just some bullshit TV show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually had like 2 different false starts in the last 10 years or so when I've tried to start watching the X-Files, and I just couldn't. I mean, it's like the story seems good, you know, the characters seem good. It's just so dated, and like the methodology that like how they show the show, it's just like slow and hard to pay attention to. For
sure. Did you ever do Twin Peaks? Because that was like another like that's even more dated, of course.
Right,
but like,
right. I actually that's another. I watched it on Netflix for the first time. You know, so like not during the initial Twin Peaks mania of the 80s or whatever. But yeah, I watched that. I got through the first season of Twin Peaks, which I thought was good.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't keep watching after that. It was just I don't know, man. I couldn't do it.
That was the only show that like actually scared the shit out of me. Like I can watch any horror movie. I can watch any quote unquote scary thing. Like for some reason, because that's like so almost like nonchalant.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, it's just evil spirits flying into people's heads and making them do stuff.
Yeah.
It happens.
For some reason that show was like one. I think it's David Lynch. Like his shit like actually kind of like scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like.
That's his main goal, you know?
I don't know how he does it. I feel like Mulholland Drive, that one like kind of like was scary too.
Is that the one with Dennis Hopper, or is that Blue Velvet?
That's Blue Velvet.
Okay.
Yeah. But Blue Velvet has the same dude who's like the main dude in
the guy
Twin
with
Peaks.
Oh, Kyle MacLachlan. Yeah.
He's in that. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. You should have watched like 10 because like 10 episodes into the second season, they
10
like
episodes in.
Well, maybe it's like 6. They reveal like the big reveal, and then you literally don't have to watch anymore. But it is super scary, and it's like super like satisfying.
Okay, so maybe I did make it that far. I don't know. I got
Because you're trying to figure out who killed Laura Palmer.
yeah, and I mean I got as far as like when spoiler alert for Twin Peaks, guys. I got as far as when what's his face? Leland is in like that cell and he smashes his head open and the Bob comes flying out.
Oh shit.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not the big reveal right there. Like I thought that was kind of like a nice like ending point. And then things got really weird after that.
I mean, they reveal who killed Laura Palmer.
Okay. They hadn't done that before. I don't know. I watched it a while ago, like I said.
You need to watch the show from the 80s again.
I need to be up on my Twin Peaks knowledge when that trivia comes around. And then I gotta watch Fire Walk with Me, right?
Yeah. Did you ever watch Psych?
Yeah, I never watched it religiously or anything, but I've seen enough of it to know, the Psych lore, I think.
Yeah. So that's my girlfriend's favorite show. I had never even heard of that show.
Really?
Until like a year
never
ago.
watched a lot of USA back in the day then, I guess.
Yeah. Like I never watched USA. I thought USA was like this bullshit like it would have shows like Jag or something on it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're not entirely wrong. Like USA has some pretty bad shows historically. I did watch all of Burn Notice, which was a USA show. I started watching it because Bruce Campbell was in it, and I just kept watching it out of habit, I think. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Psych's pretty good, and they just made a movie too.
For sure. The movie was kind of like weird. It was kind of different, but
yeah.
What can you do after you like don't do a show for like 4 years or whatever?
Well, as we established earlier, you can just keep doing shows.
Yeah.
You can just come back and do more.
They could just, and I'm sure they will. They'll just come back with like Psych season whatever in like 5 years.
It'll be Prime only or something.
Yeah. It'll just be some random shit. But it just freaked me out that like there was this entire show that had this entire canon. I'd never so much as heard of the show. And I just felt so bad because I was like, those actors like made this like great like creative show.
Right.
And like I don't know what the advertising budget was, but like I never so much as heard of this show. And I feel just like that's crazy.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I do think you're probably in the minority. I think most people like at least have some idea of what Psych is.
Oh, okay.
You're just an outlier, you know.
Okay. I'm a shut-in even like on like a TV channel level.
Right. I don't go above 42. Yeah, it's a very clever show though, I gotta say. And so have you watched like all of it now, or
I watched like 5 seasons.
did you see? So I'm aware of one episode that Carrie Elways is on.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I know the
Despereaux?
one that I saw was really good. It was really fun. Like he like showed back up, like he must have been there before. And they're like, "What? Carrie Elways, the jewel thief? What are you doing here?"
Yeah, the recurring character.
And he was just like skiing like some kind of like gold medal, like like he had a gun in his back pocket and he was gonna go do the shooting part next and win his gold medal or something.
Yeah, he could be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
That show, it is kind of weird though because it's like it's kind of shot like a cartoon almost like that, where it's just like kind of wacky. Mm-hmm. And then for me, it's like whenever they come upon a dead body, it's like there is no like spooky music, there is no like freak out. It's just like it's always just like, oh, dead body. Right. Well, I guess he's going to be late for his appointment. They treat like all these like murders as like a punchline almost.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's probably not intentional, but I think that it is actually somewhat similar to how professionals do handle dead bodies, like coroners or paramedics or what have you. Like they just see them all the time. And I mean, I don't know a ton of people in those lines of work, but I always hear that they just have like the darkest sense of humor you'll ever see,
Yeah.
And I think you have to, if you're going to constantly come upon
yeah.
dead bodies, you have to be able to roll with it. And make some jokes about it.
For sure. Oh, that's got to be. It's been an hour.
It's been an hour.
As you know, we can only do 1 hour, and then we've got to immediately cut it off. So.
Yeah, you got to get 6 episodes out of this thing, right?
Yeah, I'm going to cut this up into 7-minute chunks for the next 2 months, so I don't have to do shit.
We better do 3 more minutes than get 9 episodes.
No. I do like a little intro, outro kind of a thing,
okay.
just stock music. No, thanks for dropping by though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate it. Could do this again? Yeah.
Sure, I'm around.
All right.
You're on my way home.
All right. Well, that's the podcast for this week. And thanks to Rob again. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.